Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry another bullet journaling video had to be late, but yeah, March was a really weird, productive yet at the same time not productive at all month. Usually I start my setups, like I try to start drawing them like a week and a half before the month begins so I can actually get it up a decent amount of time before so that you guys can actually like take inspiration from it to do your month setup if you choose to. But the month kind of went all over the place, so I ended up getting it up a little bit later, but this setup is actually quite easy to do, and it is Kirby once again. And I also decided to choose Kirby because it is his birthday, or her birthday. Is Kirby a boy or a girl? I don't know. But regardless, that is this month's theme. I hope you like it, and I will also leave a link to the old one if you'd like to check that one out and compare and see which one you like more. So yeah, if you do that, let me know in the bottom, and I hope you enjoy this video. So this time I actually wanted to do Kirby because April is his birthday, like I said, but also because after March and the chaoticness that was my productive yet unproductive selves, honestly, like looking back in my book, I'm like, I did a lot, but I didn't finish a lot. So it was a lot of writing, honestly, and trying to finish bigger projects that I had already previously started that I was like, I want to just get it done. But because of that, a lot of the big stuff just didn't get done. You know, stress and whatnot. So this month I wanted something easy that I didn't really have to think too hard about, and knew that it was going to be fast for me to draw as well. And even though it was quite quick for me to draw, especially this cover page, like when I first start cover pages, I actually kind of put off really making myself sit down and do it for like a solid day or two. Like it's the last thing I do whenever I do a setup, because it is the longest thing that takes me to do, even if it is a simpler cover page. That's why I completely lost my train of thought. Because when I did Kirby in June, it was extremely easy for me to do it. I was actually quite surprised at how easy it was. And with March being such a drawing heavy cover page, I really wanted to do one that was simple, and it worked out because April is his birthday month. So I was like, okay, this works perfectly. And plus, like looking at the previously filmed, again, I didn't really understand how to light my setups properly, and I didn't discover the wonders of using scrapbook paper as your backdrops. And I had like the perfect Prima paper for the clouds and whatnot that you see Kirby in a lot. So that is why I ultimately decided on Kirby. Even though it was going to be easy for me to do, it really took a lot of pushing to make me do this, you know? Because do you guys ever feel like you just don't want to do anything? Like, I kind of felt pretty burnt out for March and all the thinking and stuff. I didn't realize writing scripts for videos, especially ones that required like real thought, was going to be so exhausting. And I don't know, it just made me not want to do anything. So finishing this setup was a bit of a challenge, but once I got, well, I shouldn't say finishing it was a challenge. Finishing it was good. Starting it was the challenge. So once I got into the drawing mode, it was much easier for me to go ahead. I actually started with my schedule page, which, I mean, you'll see in a second. But by the time I finished actually drawing the rest of the setup and it was time to film my cover page, I was like, okay, you got past the hump, let's just keep going and try to be as not perfectionist as possible, which, if you're a fellow perfectionist, you know that is quite the struggle. When I was actually editing this, I was quite surprised at how quickly I could edit, because a lot of the time I have to stop and then like think about how I'm gonna draw something, but this I just forced myself to like just keep going. So it was super easy for me to edit. So I'm very glad that ended up working out. And I chose this photo because it was the closest one that I could find that was like more detailed to represents like Kirby's birthday. And I don't know, it was so freaking cute. Yeah, there's really not too much I can say about this cover page. I wish I had more to say, but yeah, I think we'll just end it there, and I'll let you guys just enjoy this beautiful lo-fi Kirby music while you finish watching the rest. Oh, and one more thing, I would like to chime in here that please stay until the end of the video because I have a little discussion about what's going to be going on with this channel in the next couple months or so because, yeah, kind of a bigger change, but a necessary one. Alright, so this is where I started to laugh because when I first wrote all of this, I was like, I know it's Kirby's birthday, and I was like 99.9% positive that Kirby was turning 27 because I was like, I'm pretty sure the Kirby games came out in 1993, which makes Kirby like the same age as me. So that's why I wrote the 27, but I should have double checked that before I colored it in pen. His birthday, or her birthday, or whatever, Kirby's birthday is on the 27th, but she's actually turning 29. So, oops. I just added a little TH at the end. At least that ended up working out, but yeah, can you imagine if her birthday wasn't even on the 29th? I mean, if her birthday wasn't even on the 27th, like, yikes. That would have sucked. So always double check your things whenever you're doing stuff in pen. And also, a little tip when you're doing drawings like this, if you're trying to like match colors to a certain photo or even just like worried about what color would look the best, always test it. I tested all of these shades before I used any of them because that's the thing with I'm finding with these brush pen markers is that the color on the lid doesn't always match the color of the actual marker, which I mean is probably going to sound pretty self-explanatory to most people, but I didn't really think about that when I first started, and there was a lot of mistakes that could have been avoided if I just tested the color before actually putting it on the drawing. Alright, moving to the schedule page. So typically with the schedule page, I do like to start with the calendar layout first, and because I already knew that the design of the schedule page was basically going to be like an upgraded version of how I did it last year, I knew that the open-aired calendar would look the best for this. Last time when I did this, it was like bubbles, and I thought that'd be a good idea, but then obviously like looking back at it, I'm like, I think I can do this better with just like the open lines. And honestly, I really prefer this schedule page over the last time. And plus, like I did base this schedule page off of like one singular photo compared to last year when I was just like, oh, he rides on a star, let's try to draw that and then just like be experimental with the rest of it. So I didn't really like truly think it out, and it was just really like, okay, I'm grabbing my book and I'm just doodling and not really like thinking about it. This one I really, really thought about it. And I think I got into more of an overthinking mode with this one because after I finished figuring out the picture I wanted to base it off of and how the schedule page was going to be laid out, I was like, okay, next step is going to choose my font. But you would be surprised that online there is no true, more updated version of a Kirby font that you would see in the games. And normally that's my tactic, like for the Harry Potter one, it was very easy to just look up Harry Potter font, and it was just there, and same with like other themes that I've done. But with Kirby, I couldn't find one, and I struggled so hard, and by the time I finally decided on this font, I was on like the 4th or 5th font, trying it, like writing it out completely, so oh my god, I wasted so much time, it was ridiculous. But by the time I fell onto this font, I was like, wait, this feels weirdly familiar. And then I realized that this font is the exact same font I used on my August setup for my ocean theme, and I Oh my god, it was so funny. So clearly my heart just draws to that font. So I was okay with it. I was like, you know what? It's not like it's August all over again and it looks like super the same. I mean, you can tell it's the same if you could like compare them, but you know, it still works with the aesthetic that I was going for Kirby. So I was like, okay, it's fine, whatever. So the original photo that I used for this was very sunset-y, but like actually no, not sunset, it was more like a sunrise, where like all the color of the sky was just like plethoras of everything pastel. But the problem was that this original photo was used with watercolors, or I'm assuming digital art, where you can like easily blend the colors, but with Tombos it's a bit harder to do. So with the lightest colors I had, it did work, as you can see, but I kind of made the mistake of doing the sections of the clouds in dark pink that I wanted to first, like the entire page, and then trying to blend them together. But turns out, even though a Tombow brush can be kind of used as like a watercolory effect, if you don't do it like immediately after drawing on the paper, it's not wet enough to actually blend. So I kind of learned that the hard way. So part of me kind of wishes I just didn't add the dark pink to the rest of the clouds, but I mean, what do you guys think? Do you like it how it looks right now, or like how you'll see it in a minute with the dark pink? Overall, I don't hate it. I'm just kind of wondering if I made the wrong choice, you know? But I really liked how this little Kirby turned out. I was a little bit nervous drawing him again because, like I said, this was the first one I actually drew, not the cover page. The cover page was at the very, very end. But it was quite quick for me to do, and he looks so cute. My only thing with that I wish I didn't do is add the dark pink to that edge of his one blush section. It still looks good, but yeah, I think it would look better if I didn't accidentally do that, so whoopsie. Alright, so with that complete, we are moving on to the to-do list. So when I started doing the rest of this setup, I decided that it would be kind of a neat idea if I tried to make each spread like a different section of the game. So obviously it's not in chronological order, otherwise Kirby riding on a star into the sunset or sunrise scene wouldn't work, but I just did what I wanted to do on each side. So anyway, this spread, I decided to make it so it was the part of the game where he's constantly underwater, and it's actually one of my favorite parts of the game, but sadly, I could not find any reference drawings to the other characters that are typically under the water with him, so I just stuck with just using Kirby and then just making it look like there's like waves above it. But I did it in like super, super light blue so that it would be easy to actually write my list out, otherwise I would be with this nice artistic spread and then not want to like interfere with a typical to-do list. So that's why I left it like so open. But then I've like about a day or two after I finished coloring this whole spread, I found one drawing where someone actually found the fish that are typically under the water, and now I wish I did that, but oh well, I still think it looks really cute. But I did have some of my old ocean-themed washi tapes, so did a little bit better of a job adding some sea life kick to this spread. Alright, so with that finished, it's now time for Mood Tracker and Habit Tracker. So this one's basically the same as last year's. The only real difference is that I did the outlines of some of these well, actually no, not some. I did the outline of all of these doodles in a really thin black Sharpie marker instead of like my typical thicker one that I use to write with 90% of the time. And I think it looked a lot cleaner. And I also colored in parts of these little symbols that wasn't part of like the mood tracker color. So like I added a few clouds that didn't have a number and some of those like M tomatoes and didn't add a number into those, and I just colored the M tomato just to make it look a little bit more of an artsy page instead of just like a typically all blank black and white page when you first start the setup. I thought it'd be a little bit more fun that way. And plus I noticed when I filled in my entire mood tracker last time I did this theme that I shouldn't have chose red as one of the moods, because I chose red as like my meh mood, which is typically like in the middle. and happens a lot during a month if I'm kind of like stressed or kind of annoyed at stuff. And most of that mood tracker was filled with red, and I really didn't like how it looked endwise. And I know, like, again, bullet journals aren't really supposed to just be for aesthetics, but like when I put so much effort into an artsy spread, I really want it to like look nice by the time it's filled up. So this time I replaced the red with like one of the blues that I used. Actually, it was the same blue that I used on Kirby's scuba mask. So already filling out a few of those pages by the time this video is up. I've had a couple of meh mood days, and that blue looks a lot better with the other colors that I chose. So I think by the time I show you guys like an entire year flip through, it'll look a lot nicer. Alright, habit tracker time. The only thing that I actually changed this month was just switching workout into exercise. Every day I was originally hoping to like, oh yeah, in the morning I'm gonna go for a run. Yeah, that hasn't been happening. But I have been biking on some days, and then rollerblading on some days, and then running on some days, so I just decided to title it as exercise, but honestly everything else is exactly the same. So instead of just having my habit tracker have a bunch of washi tapes that go with this color, like I did last year, I decided to add a little picture of Kirby holding one of like those candy weapon things. I found the picture from some Twitter user on Pinterest. So I will obviously show you the original drawing at the end of the video, but yeah, this one was super easy and I really liked how this one turned out. This is probably one of my favorite drawings of Kirby in my entire setup. Also, I realize my shadowing technique is not the best, but I am working on it and I am trying. Alright, so we are on the final stretch, the weekly spread. So originally I thought that this looked super cute, but now looking back on it, I'm like, I think I made Kirby's face a little derpy by accident, but oh, whatever, it's too late and it's only a weekly spread. I'm only using it for 7 days, it doesn't matter, it's fine. So still going with the theme of each spread gonna be a different area of the game. This scene was one of my favorite powers that Kirby could get in the Amazing Mirror, and I don't know, it was so cute when I would see him just like flying with his little wings. It's just like, I don't know, the way they animated it, it was so cute. So it was one of my favorite powers to make him get, and I was always so sad whenever he would like lose it. That's why I picked this as my first one, but yeah, I think I made his eyes a little bit derpy, but that's okay, whatever. For those of you who have played the games, what was your favorite power that Kirby could get? And it doesn't matter like what game or whatever, because I mean, I know he has like so many powers in so many games, so like what's the one that you remember if you did play them? So with the layout of this one, I kind of didn't really have a real plan for it. I was just noticing that when I was doing my spreads for March, that the ones where I had an area full, like horizontal instead of vertical, actually helped a lot more on my much busier days. So I wanted to have the majority of this spread have that much extra space. And I didn't really plan out my dots. I kind of just like guesstimated, because I was like, it doesn't need to be exactly perfect, because I'm learning that I need to not be as perfectionist with my weekly spreads, because again, you're really only using it for the 1 week, and it just needs to serve its purpose to keep you organized and on the ball for that week. Yay, another setup complete! This is my final flip through of my new and improved Kirby theme. Which is your favorite spread of this entire thing? And I think I'm gonna have to go with my Well, I think it's a tie between my schedule page and my to-do list page, just because it's my favorite parts of the game. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this month's setup, even though it was late once again, but we're working on it. So while I'm going to be just giving you guys like the regular outro, here is the original photos that I used to recreate this theme. And also, if you'd like to check out more weekly spreads in the month, or if I do any cards, check out my Instagram right here, Meraki_memories. And yeah, if you do decide to do any of the other spreads that I've done, like, and recreated and share them on Instagram, like, please tag me. I'd like to see them. And also, little mini announcement, as I promised, I've decided that because I finally finished catching up all of my pre-filmed stuff for this channel, and I'm like up to date and like I literally, to get a video out, I have to like film it in the week and not just like already have it filmed kind of thing, that I'm going to be switching, going from weekly on this channel to monthly or even bi-weekly, because for my other channel that is supposed to be my main channel, it's a lot more editing heavy and there are a lot of videos that I need to edit that I haven't even touched in literally 2 years. So that's a problem. So this channel will still be active, but it's going to be mostly bullet journaling setups until further notice, and card tutorials every once in a while when I have like a birthday or an anniversary coming up that I need to make fun for. I'm sorry that it won't be weekly as much, but always keep out for Wednesday, or follow me on my Instagram if you want updates weekly on what's going to be going on with the channel, because yeah, always will be a bullet journaling setup, so you can always count on that. But if you want extra updates, that's the best place to go. So yeah, I will see you guys probably next Scrappy Wednesday, because this month I actually do have a few extra videos I need to put out, so there'll probably be 4 videos this month. But if there's not, if I miss a week, that is why. So yeah, I will see you guys next time, and have a good day. Bye.